When did you decide to beat them at their own game? HOA President Barbara Whitman ruled our neighborhood like a dictator. She measured grass height with a ruler, fined people for having the wrong shade of beige on their mailbox, and once tried to foreclose on an elderly couple for having their garbage cans visible from the street for 12 minutes too long. My breaking point came when she fined me $500 for unauthorized botanical display, aka I planted tulips instead of the approved daffodils. When I appealed, she smirked and said, "Rules are rules. Maybe next time you'll read the guidelines." She'd fined half a neighborhood for similarly ridiculous violations, collecting almost $30,000 in 6 months. That's when I decided to beat Barbara at her own game. I spent 3 weeks reading every page of the HOA documents, bylaws, covenants, architectural guidelines, meeting minutes from the past decade. I found exactly what I was looking for buried in subsection 47B of the 1987 founding documents. Turns out Barbara's own house violated 17 HOA rules. Her fence was 0.5 inches too tall, her driveway had an unapproved crack, her garden gnome wasn't from the approved vendor list, and most importantly, she'd built a deck without getting HOA approval, which she was required to see from herself. But I didn't report her yet. First, I needed allies. I started attending every HOA meeting, taking detailed notes. Barbara hated this but couldn't stop me. I documented every time she violated meeting procedures, not allowing proper discussion time, refusing to record dissenting votes, making decisions without quorum. Then I found the gold mine. Barbara had been embezzling. The HOA account showed $30,000 in fines collected, but only $12,000 in the bank. She'd been using HOA funds for personal landscaping, claiming it was neighborhood beautification. Her own yard looked like Versailles while the common areas were dying. I didn't confront her. Instead, I started my campaign. I created a spreadsheet showing every fine she'd issued, cross-referenced with the actual HOA rules. Turned out 70% of her fines were for violations that didn't exist in any document. She'd been making up rules and pocketing the money. Next, I filed my own violations against Barbara. 17 separate complaints, all documented with photos and rule citations. According to the bylaws, she had to address each one at the next meeting. She tried to dismiss them, but I'd brought 30 neighbors who were all tired of her tyranny. Motion to discuss the violations against 47 Maple Street, I said calmly. Barbara turned red. That's my house. Yes, and rules are rules, as you've told us many times. The room erupted in applause. She tried to shut down the meeting. I pulled out subsection 12C. Any member may call for continuation of discussion with support of 5 members present. 40 hands shot up. She had to sit there while I presented each violation, complete with photographic evidence and fine calculations. According to her own fine structure, she owed $8,500, but that was just the beginning. I then presented the embezzlement evidence, bank statements, receipts, her own signatures on unauthorized purchases. The room went silent. Barbara tried to leave. I reminded her that according to the bylaws she wrote, the president must remain for entire meetings. The final blow came when I revealed I'd been secretly recording meetings for 6 months, legal in our state with single-party consent. I had her on tape admitting she made up rules to keep the neighborhood in line, and joking about using fine money for her vacation. I motioned for immediate removal of the president for fiduciary misconduct, I announced. The vote was unanimous, except for Barbara, who wasn't allowed to vote on her own removal according to the bylaws. She stood up, called us all pathetic losers, and stormed out. But I wasn't done. I'd already contacted the district attorney about the embezzlement. Barbara was arrested 2 weeks later. The missing $18,000 was traced to her personal account. She had to sell her house to pay restitution and legal fees. The best part, the house she had to sell violated so many HOA rules that the new buyers demanded repairs before closing. Cost her another $20,000. The fence, deck, even her precious garden gnome, all had to go. She had to follow every single rule she tortured us with. I became the new HOA president. First act, dissolved all the ridiculous rules Barbara had created. Second act, refunded every fine from the past year. Third act, used the remaining HOA funds for an actual neighborhood beautification, a playground Barbara had voted against 5 times. Barbara moved to another neighborhood 30 miles away. I heard she tried to join their HOA board. They Googled her, found the news articles about her arrest, and banned her from all HOA activities. Sometimes the best revenge is letting someone's own rules destroy them.